So, with the Serie A campaign 4-5 weeks away, Milan are still on the hunt for their new striker. Now, it was being reported they wanted Dusan Vlahovic, but I feel like that deal was a bit more complicated. Now we've got ourselves 3 new names, 3 new players that Milan are linked with, that Allegri wants. Does it make sense? Does it not make sense? Are they worth the price? And which one, in your opinion, do you think is the best fit? Now, if you're new, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, always engage in the comments. Who should we start off with? I know who to start off with. I think the one which is the most interesting, the one which in my opinion is the best option out of these 3 players. Victor Boniface from Bayer Leverkusen. Now, I'm familiar with him from watching Bayer Leverkusen. I know what he's good at. I know what he's not good at. But the one thing I didn't know about Victor Boniface, and I'll be honest with you guys, like, it's a testament to how strong of a mentality he has. This dude's done his ACL twice. And he's only 24 years old. Now listen, that might be an alarm bell for some of you guys, because with an ACL, your body becomes very injury prone. Like, any bit of contact, like, your knees are very fragile, okay? 2 ACLs, and he's only 24? And he's still gone on to have the career, like, he's still gone on to do what he's done at Bayer Leverkusen. For me, it's impressive. Like, for anybody that sat down and watched him, you could even see the way he plays the game. For a guy that's done 2 ACLs. I couldn't believe it. I genuinely couldn't believe it. I thought he was injury free and he's just got some small problems here and there. He done his first ACL at the age of 18. He done his second ACL at the age of 20. Now, Victor Boniface, what do we know about him? 24 years old, and at Bayer Leverkusen, he's got 31 goal contributions in 42 games, whilst also going unbeaten, part of the Invincible campaign under Xabi Alonso. Now, Boniface is a good player. I'm not too sure what the price is, but I believe it's between 30 and 40 million. So why are Bayer Leverkusen open to letting him go? In my opinion, I feel like they just can't rely upon him. Like, he does on average miss between 15 to 25 games per season. He's had 2 campaigns at Bayer Leverkusen. First campaign, I believe he missed 23 games. Second campaign, he missed 18 to 19 matches. When you're the main striker of the team, you are the focal point. You are integral to the way this team plays. You have to be one of their most reliable of players. When it comes to Boniface, there's a lot of injuries, okay? And I feel like Bayer Leverkusen are now looking at him and saying, maybe it's time to cash in. So does it make sense? Does it make sense for Milan to grab him? He's a good player, I'll be honest with you guys. But prior to me knowing that he'd done his ACL twice, I would have turned around and said Milan should be all over him. But now, when I take everything into consideration, the injuries that he's been getting at Bayer Leverkusen, the fact that history shows he's done his ACL twice, I don't know, like, I'm always cautious on players that have had big injuries throughout their career. But the fact that he's had 2 big injuries in his career, I don't know. But as a player, he is good. Like, I can actually imagine him in this Milan team. He's strong. He can hold up the ball, like, in the most polite ways possible. He reminds me of somebody like Lukaku, but I feel like he's a bit more refined than Lukaku. Like, Lukaku for me doesn't really come across as one of the most technical of players. Like, sometimes the first touch isn't there. Sometimes he's chaotic. Boniface, for me, is a bit more refined in that area. And I feel like in the final third, he's got an eye for a pass. He's comfortable finishing with both feet. Like, his goal catalogue speaks for itself. Boniface is a good player. Like, he's actually a good player, but I don't know what it is. I just think, in the back of my head, 2 ACL injuries. Besides that, knee injuries at Bayer Leverkusen, abductor problems at Bayer Leverkusen. In terms of a footballer, I think he's great. I think he scores goals. I think he connects the dots. I think he's fast. I think he's dynamic. But for me, I've just got him in that bracket where he's injury prone, and I don't know. I was literally sat thinking about it. I was like, why would Bayer Leverkusen even be open to letting him go? He scores them goals. He gets assists. He's built such a strong dynamic with somebody like Florian Wirtz, even though he's left. Why would they cash in on somebody that's 24 years old? Like, even when you look at his output for game ratio, it's impressive. He's just not reliable. He's not reliable. So Milan would be taking a gamble more on his fitness and his... Yeah, they'll be taking a gamble on his fitness rather than his goal scoring ability or his playmaking ability. I feel like he comes to Milan, he does well in that sense. But how many games are you getting out of him throughout a Serie A campaign? Bayer Leverkusen in 2 campaigns have not even gotten 25 appearances out of him out of 38 matches. I don't know. Like, maybe it's the fact that he was playing every single week and eventually he dropped. Maybe with Milan, the fact that they've got Santi Jimenez, they can afford to rotate. Victor Boniface, the footballer, I think it would be great, but I think the injury record, it leaves me cautious, I'll be honest with you guys. And I feel like the Milan board are definitely looking at his injury record and thinking this might be too big of a gamble. Next in line, Jean-Philippe Mateta from Crystal Palace. Now, he is a player that I am very, very, very familiar with. Like, I've even gone down to Selhurst Park 5-6 times to watch him in a Crystal Palace shirt. He, for me, is one of those players that in the past 24 months, he's just come to life. I guarantee you, before the past 24 months, prior to 2 years ago, nobody knew who he was. Crystal Palace were looking to sell him. Like, he was going to go down in Crystal Palace's history books as being one of their worst ever signings. They paid 10 million to sign him from Mainz. I think he had back-to-back campaigns where he only scored 2 goals. Like, he was one of those players, when he comes off the bench, everybody knows the game is done. It's the exact same way I felt last season when Joao Felix was come off the bench. I'm like, he's not bringing nothing. He's bringing no goals, no playmaking, no assists. He's bringing nothing. He's just there to take up space. I don't know what's happened to Mateta in the past 2 years. His whole career has been revived. And don't get me wrong, I feel like Oliver Glasner coming into Palace, he completely revamped that entire team, from the way they play to the way they set up to their formation. They now deploy wing backs. They've actually gone out and signed some good players. Like, he had the luxury of leading the line with somebody like Eze and Olise right behind him. And those are like 2 of the best creators in the Premier League, and they were feeding him and he was scoring. And I feel like ever since then, his career has kicked on. And in the past 2 campaigns, he's got 50 goal contributions. Well, throughout his Crystal Palace career, 50 goal contributions in 131 campaigns. In the past 2 years, he's gotten himself over 30 goal contributions. He's been one of the hottest strikers in the Premier League over the past 2 years. But I don't know what it is. Like, I just can't forget what I saw from Mateta in his first 4-5 years at Crystal Palace. I just can't, like, words can't emphasize when he used to come on, when I was at the ground, at the stadium, and he comes on, like, he was a player that couldn't control the ball. He couldn't make a pass. He couldn't score a goal. Like, Palace were looking to let him go, yet nobody wanted him. Glasner came in and was like, listen, I want myself a focal point. I want myself a 6-foot+ striker that's strong, that can hold up the ball. And even when Glasner took the gamble of making him his number 9, everybody looked at it and said, like, it's not going to work out. Maybe, just maybe, he's one of those players where, and I will be honest, like, when he first signed for Crystal Palace, he had to play under somebody like Patrick Vieira, who didn't really favour him. Roy Hodgson, whose football tactics are very obsolete. Like, maybe, just maybe, he was a player that was misunderstood, and he's benefited the most from having a modern day coach that could play to his strengths. Because I'd be a liar if I told you guys Vieira played to his strengths or Roy Hodgson played to his strengths. But I don't know what it is. Like, I'm still not convinced. But what I've seen of him in the past 2 years, very impressive. He's reliable. Like, he plays 35 out of 38 games a Premier League campaign. And the 3 games that he misses, it's because he's being rotated. He's reliable. He presses from the front. Like, I love his attitude. He's one of those guys that goes out there, leaves it all on the pitch, gives you 120%. His mentality, he wants to win. He communicates, like, he gives it his all. It's also being reported that they're looking for about 25 million. This would be a very, very, very good coup, but I feel like I can't turn around and tell you guys he will be a guaranteed success, because I've seen the good and I've seen the bad. And it's like, I feel like with Mateta, I need to see him do it for another year, just to be like, you know what? You've given me 3 good years back to back. Maybe what happened in the past wasn't really your fault. It was personnel, it was tactics, it was the coach. But his past 2 campaigns have been very impressive, and there's a reason why clubs across the world are looking at him. And finally, Nicolas Jackson. Let's just keep this one short and sweet. It looks like he's on his way out of Chelsea, especially the fact that they've signed Liam Delap. They've gone out to sign Joao Pedro. I'll be honest with you guys. Like, Nicolas Jackson, for me, you put him in a FIFA Street game, you put him in a 5-a-side tournament, he would be one of the best players, because he's strong, he's mobile, he's dynamic, he's got quick feet, he can pass, he can connect the dots, he's versatile. The only problem is with Nicolas Jackson, and it's probably the main reason why Chelsea have felt like it was necessary for them to go out and sign for them to go out and sign Joao Pedro. He's just not a killer in front of goal. He never was at Villarreal. He never became a killer at Chelsea. And I don't think if he comes to Milan, he will become a killer. He's not that type of player. He's not prolific. He's not clinical. He's actually ridiculously wasteful in front of goal. Don't get me wrong. He scores you goals. But it's just, he's not a consistent goal scorer. He's definitely a consistent player when it comes to playmaking, when it comes to dropping deep. Like, he will definitely allow Milan to play in a different style because he can drop deep, connect the dots, create those central overloads. But I feel like Milan are looking for a striker that can score them goals. Like, Milan want themselves somebody that's there that can say, I'm a striker that's going to get you 15 in the Serie A season after season after season. He couldn't even get 15 in the Premier League. I don't know. Like, Nicolas Jackson is also being reported that they want £100 million for him. I don't think that's true. Like, don't get me wrong. I feel like if somebody was to put 50 million on the table, they would snap it up. He's not worth 50 million. I don't even think he's worth the price that Chelsea paid for him, which is 30 million. He's a great footballer, but I don't think he's a great striker. If he comes to Milan, he will definitely bring something different. But I feel like after 2-3 months, everybody will look at him and say, you're not really a goal scorer. Like, we need a goal scorer. We need somebody to get onto the end of the opportunities that Leao or Pulisic creates. He will benefit them in terms of connecting with them. He's not a goal scorer. And I'll be honest, I've never ever really been a big fan of him. So I feel like it's best for me to stay away from somebody like Nicolas Jackson. Boniface, Mateta, they make sense in their own different ways. Boniface, for me, is the number one. But the injuries, like, you have to manage him. I'll be honest with you guys. If you sign him, you have to manage him. And maybe, just maybe, the fact that Santi Jimenez is around, it will help. Mateta, based off the last 2 years, he's one of the hottest strikers in the world. But me, this is just like my own personal opinion, I'm still not convinced because I just can't erase what I saw prior to that. But time will tell. Time will tell. If you're new, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe. Always engage in the comments. Give your opinion. And I will catch you guys on another one.